I'm just trying to see if our guest is here. Oh, there we are.
I've been here the whole time, and I've enjoyed I feel so honoured to be coming in on off the back of so many groundbreaking. I've learned so much off every single one of you along this. It's been a year. It's only been a year that I've been gender critical. Whatever it is I'm doing, it's been a year I've been doing it, and I've learned so much from all of you.
How did you first get involved? So, you know, we've found your singing and your thinking and your writing and your, dare I say, altercation with a certain singer, all very compelling, all of it. But just tell us firstly how you got involved with.
Well, I kind of, listening back to Maya speak, I've kind of realised a piece of the puzzle that I've been missing when I was kind of putting it back together. So like 3 years ago or so, I've only been doing music for 2.5 years now. So 3 years ago, I used to work full-time in restaurants for a chain of restaurants. I was a company trainer and I used to travel around the UK opening restaurants. That was what I did. And then something kind of groundbreaking happened. My mum got diagnosed with breast cancer and it shook my world. It literally, she's absolutely fine. She's had the all clear. We're all good. But my mum's my rock, and it shook my world. And at that point, I quit and started doing music. So I'd been doing music for a year or so. This whole time, my mum had been talking to me about women's rights. And like women's rights have always mattered. Like, this is something that I think is interesting. My logo, if you can see, it had the female symbol in it way before I'd got involved in any, like, I just like women. This is what I did. And me and my mum had been kind of coming to heads about it. And this is an analogy. What to me it sounded like my mum saying trans women are men at the point, you know, sort of a year ago, to me was like saying adopted children are biologically not. It would be like going out and campaigning. It's true, but it's hurtful. Like, adopted children aren't biologically related to their parents, but what would be the need to go out and shout that? Like, why would anyone? I couldn't see any angle that this was reasonable for anyone to be campaigning against. Like, it just sounded bigoted. That's where I was at. Never thought my mum's been a bigot. She's the kindest, and I just couldn't understand it. Like, so we kind of agreed to stop talking about it. But I'd had enough sort of information put in to my ear that I'd argued against, you know, trans women will make women work harder. If I was an athlete, I'd be happy to compete against men to prove that women are stronger than men. I was coming out with all of it. And then one day, out of nowhere, on Instagram, I'm just randomly having a conversation about Johnny Depp, something or other, and someone was annoyed with my feminist view and said, "You're not a woman or a female." And I thought about it. If I wasn't on my period at that moment, it wouldn't have gone the way it did. But I said, "Well, can you tell that to my uterus, because it's really grieving me right now?" Purely, like, wasn't like I would never be transphobic. I think if I knew it was transphobic before I said it, I wouldn't have said it. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, so I said, "Tell that to my uterus." It just, one thing after another, people were like, "Oh, so you're a bigot?" And I'm like, "Whoa!" And I was like trying to undo what I'd done. And I read it back and I thought, you know what? If I'm a TERF, then I'm a TERF. Yeah. I look back, that was the 2nd of February last year. And I'm a massive Harry Potter fan. So I'm a massive Harry Potter fan. So my first in to getting information on this was actually like a crash course, because I went and looked at JK's tweet. And then the first thing I studied was looked into was Maya's, what was happening. And to me, really, looking back, that's quite a big place to start. Do you know what I mean? Like, I started at the legal side of it, which I'm not political, I'm not legal. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and then bit by bit, it took a month for me to come out and say, it took a month of thinking, of making sort of links in my head, to come out and tweet my first. And Debbie Hayton, I saw Debbie's tweet underneath JK Rowling's tweet, and that led me down a path of, okay, maybe I'm not a bigot. That was like maybe I'm not a bigot.
Once you see, you can't unsee, isn't it?
It's just one thing after another. It just, and it was the medicalising children, and I thought, I had to make a choice, and it really was a choice of like my music career or women. And it literally, I'm lucky that I chose to busk, because no one can stop me doing that. It's, you know, I can go out and do that anywhere at any time. No one can cancel that. And I thought, you know what, it's what have I got, my career or speak for the wrongs that are happening. And
you've done some writing about your personal you know, story in terms of your background, specifically, and how you viewed the appropriation of womanhood to be exactly the same as the appropriation of, for example, blackness, if I decided to
Absolutely,
identify
yeah.
as a black person. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
So I don't know if visually, I think maybe I look sort of, some people thought I was Spanish, some people I'm kind of ethnically sort of ambiguous, but my dad is half black, we think, because he was adopted. We're not 100% sure. And I wasn't brought up by my biological mum. I was brought up by my dad initially on his own. We moved to Trinidad. I met my mum, who I called mum's side of the family, my stepmom in Trinidad. She came back to England with us. So I was raised, me, my sister, and two black parents in a very black area.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, because he was adopted, he's got real sort of issues with his own race, I think. And with, I think he had children with a white woman and wanted them to come out black. And we're not black, do you know what I mean? I'm named after an African woman, like it's, and we had to refer to ourselves as black around my dad. If we referred to ourselves as anything, I only ever had black dolls. I wasn't allowed to play with white children. I wasn't allowed, it was, if you ever bring a white boy home, like, I was black, I had to be black. And then when I moved away from my dad and kind of looked at myself and what my own identity, I started to realize that my whole life I'd felt inferior because I wasn't black enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the easy out would be, I guess, to do what Rachel Doziel did. And like, I could quite easily I could tan up more, I could perm my hair more, I could present blacker than I am. It's such a hard conversation to have because it's all about identity. But I know, and this is someone who grew up black. I've watched people, my dad's got dreads, like people used to come and touch his hair. He's been in I watched my dad have physical fights because like someone, when I was growing up, my little brother, who's not physically related to me, but we grew up together, he's from Trinidad, he's full black, and someone spray painted Kyle is a N-word on the fence, like, and I hunted that kid down and I fought him. He was a boy, he was my age, and I physically had a fight with him at 15. I know what racism is, I know culturally what black means, and to me it would probably make my life easier, and I'd feel more validated if I walked around the world and people knew I was black, people knew I wasn't white. But I wouldn't do it because even though I'm a quarter black, I can still see that if I can walk around shops and not get accosted or not get followed the same way as I would with my dad or my little brother or my stepmom, do you know, like, then for me, I can't say I understand the struggles of, I can say I've seen the struggles of a black person, and maybe trans women from a point of view that are passing or whatever can see the struggles of a woman, but that doesn't mean you understand them and you feel them. And why would you want to do that? I don't, and that's the part for me I've really struggled with. Like, if I can't identify as black, being part black, having black family, my name is African, and I'm not black, I'm not white, I'm neither. That's fine. What is it?
And the world is, you know, justifiably outraged when a white person.
If I'm not white, and if I identified as black, it would be offensive. I know it would. I know it would. If I said I'm a black woman and this is my opinion, it would cause uproar, and I'm tempted to do it, but it's, do you know, I mean, just to prove a point, like, oh, so I can't be black, even though this is my dad. I can show you a picture of my dad. Is he black? Okay, so I'm not black, but this is a woman. Like it.
But under gender ideology, of course, any man can say he identifies as a woman and be accepted in all of her spaces, places, lists, sports. Yeah, it's really important to remember that there is not a lot of logic attached to any of this.
No.
But you've written a beautiful song, which you're going to sing us out with.
I am, yeah. I'm so honoured to do this. I wrote this song. I don't want to be sort of inflammatory with my music. I want to make beautiful music. The Billy Bragg thing, I thought it would slip past with 20 odd likes. Honestly, I thought this was something I'm doing for me. He's hurt my feelings, and I'm just going to sillily rewrite it. I didn't put any thought, and that I was like, whoa, okay. And I realized music has a place in this, and so I wrote this song just to say thank you to the women. I've spent a year learning on a crash course of real feminism when I thought I was a feminist. I thought I was fighting for like I've had a crash course on how to really how to fight for women, and so I wrote this song for that.
And is there anyone you'd like to dedicate it to?
Yes, so I've done quite a lot of research into the Countess, into Constance Markovic.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think I relate to her. She made a choice to go from riches to rags. And I wasn't riches. I've never been riches, never. But I feel like I made a choice. My music was getting played on BBC One radio. I was on One Extra, and I made a choice of my music career or women. And do you know what I mean? She made a choice that needed to be made, and I feel that's why I relate to her. So yes, I'd like to dedicate this performance to the Countess.
Thank you for your bravery and courage. And yeah, we like to always evoke our figurehead in terms of a spirit of resistance to gender equality. Thank you. I'll give you Nehanda with I Am Woman.
Thank you. This goes out to every single woman that has been before, but this specific one is for Constance. Yeah, I feel like words aren't enough, but your silence is deafening, so I call your bluff. Your quietude is deadly, my words are a bomb. Your stillness is the detonator, my words are wrong, but I still speak them. You can tell me later, 'cause I don't, quite frankly, give a damn. And I am quite handy with a pen. Said I'm handy with a pen, I'm handy with a pen, and I speak my words with truth so you could try to follow me. I'll tell you it's no use, 'cause I can show you the way, but still you can't walk in my shoes and see my heart is pure, and so I've got nothing to lose. And I don't, quite frankly, give a damn. I'm woman, so take me as I am. Take me as I am. Shoo-doo-doo-dee-da-dee-da-die. La-da-da-dee-da-da-da-die. You know the lyrics, just sing along, it's for all of you. Words aren't enough, but your silence is deafening, so I call your bluff. Your quietude is deadly, words are a bomb. Your stillness is the detonator, my words are wrong, but I still speak them. You can tell me later, 'cause I don't, quite frankly, give a damn. I'm woman, so take me as I am. Take me as I am. Shoo-doo-doo-dee-da-dee-da-die. I'll never be a man. So take me as I am, as I am. I'm woman, so take me as I am. Shoo-doo-doo-dee-da-dee-da-die. La-da-da-dee-da-da-da-die. Take me as I am, as I am. I'm woman, so take me as I am. Happy International Women's Day, everybody. I really feel like it's been today compared to last year, I don't know if everybody agrees, has been uplifting. It's always been like Valentine's Day, but for women, as opposed to what happened last year with the hijacking.
Yeah.
We're
taking it back. We're taking it back, Nehanda.
Absolutely.
Our day, and we've taken it back. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all our attendees and everyone who saw us live on Facebook. We are on YouTube. This recording will be going out on YouTube in a matter of days. And please remember to join our mailing list and join us in this movement. It's open to everybody. All you need to do is care about the rights and freedoms of women and children. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.